Coming up, it's the quarterfinals with Acton-Boxborough Regional High School. Taking on Hopkinton High School. That's next on High School Quiz Show. Hi, everybody, and welcome to High School Quiz Show. I'm Joe Hanson, your host. We have had some incredibly tight matches so far in today's contest between two High School Quiz Show veterans. Acton-Boxborough and Hopkinton should be another great match. We start, as always, with the toss-up round. All answers are worth 10 points. There are no point deductions for wrong answers, and players, you may confer. So teams, if you're ready, good luck. Here we go. Tony and Maria are star-crossed lovers in what Broadway musical inspired by Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet? Zaid.
West Side Story.
That's correct. At the 2021 U.S. Classic in Indianapolis, who became the first female gymnast to successfully land an ultra-dangerous Yurchenko double pike on vault? Ryan.
Simone Biles.
That's correct. What 1985 John Hughes film features characters described as a brain, an athlete, a basket case, a princess, and a criminal? Nathaniel.
Star Wars.
No. Hopkinton, you have a chance here. Ishan.
Rudy.
No, we're looking for The Breakfast Club. Even though it has the highest consumption of cans of Spam per capita, which U.S. state has the longest life expectancy at 80.7 years? Alex.
Hawaii.
Hawaii is correct. All right, for the next question, take a look at your monitors. This stunning building is the Cadet Chapel at the U.S. Air Force Academy. It's one of the most popular tourist attractions in which U.S. state? Nathaniel.
Arizona.
No. Hopkinton, to you. Abhishek.
Colorado.
Colorado is right. Which chemical element is a major component of batteries and a treatment for mood disorders? Abhishek.
Lithium.
That's correct. Using the slogan, "Make Europe Great Again," what Hungarian leader took over the rotating presidency of the European Union on July 1st, 2024? Nathaniel.
Orban.
Orban is correct. Roosevelt Island is surrounded by an Antarctic ice shelf that shares its name with what nearby sea? Ishan.
Ross.
The Ross Sea is correct. In her first major acting award, Demi Moore won a Golden Globe for her starring role as Elizabeth Sparkle in what 2024 film about a mysterious drug? Eric.
Dune Part 2.
No. Hopkinton, you have a chance here. Ishan.
Ecstasy.
No, we're looking for the substance. In 1988, Congress passed and President Reagan signed a measure that apologized for the internment of approximately 120,000 Japanese Americans during which war? Ryan.
The Second World War.
World War II is correct. Because it has no obvious side effects, which noble gas has been described as the perfect anesthesia? Xenon, argon, or radon? Nathaniel.
Xenon.
Xenon is right. What classic coming-of-age novel ends with the line, "Don't ever tell anybody anything. If you do, you start missing everybody"? Ishan.
Jane Eyre.
No. Acton-Boxborough, you do have a chance here. Zaid.
Things Fall Apart.
No, we're looking for The Catcher in the Rye. What unit of length equal to 6 feet is used to measure the depth of water? Nathaniel.
Fathom.
That's correct. A staple of British pop culture, what fictional space and time machine from Doctor Who takes the shape of a blue UK police box? Alex.
The TARDIS.
The TARDIS is correct. We're off to a great start, but let's take a moment to thank the folks who make this show possible. Major funding for High School Quiz Show is provided by Safety Insurance.
From whoops to uh-oh to oh no. Safety Insurance can help you manage life's storms, even the indoor kind.
Additional funding is provided by the Museum of Science, Massachusetts Teachers Association, Xfinity Mobile, UMass Amherst, and Subaru of New England. Welcome back, everybody. The score is Acton-Boxborough with 60 points, Hopkinton with 50 points. Close match so far. Let's get back to the game. In 1584, what English explorer was granted a charter from Queen Elizabeth to establish the Roanoke colony, later known as the Lost Colony? Nathaniel?
Drake.
No. Hopkinton, to you. Abhishek?
John Rolfe.
No, we're looking for Sir Walter Raleigh. What scientific unit of frequency is named for the German physicist who invented the world's first radio antenna? Nathaniel?
Hertz.
Hertz is right. Which American city won the bid to host the 2034 Winter Olympics? Salt Lake City, Denver, or Seattle? Abhishek?
Salt Lake City.
That's correct. An advisor to 7 presidents on Ebola, HIV, COVID, and other health issues. What retired physician is the author of the memoir On Call, A Doctor's Journey in Public Service? Alex?
Fauci.
Fauci's right. What Italian artist of the High Renaissance took a single block of marble discarded by other sculptors and created a 17 feet tall statue of the biblical hero David? Eric?
Michelangelo.
That's correct. About 20 times wider than the asteroid belt, what region of icy bodies begins beyond the orbit of Neptune? Zaid?
Kuiper.
The Kuiper Belt is correct. Known as the father of the French Revolution, what French philosopher wrote his novel Émile as a treatise on education? Ishan?
Rousseau.
That's correct. Remembered for his monologue, 7 Words You Can Never Say on Television, and for his riffs on soft language, what comedian hosted the very first episode of Saturday Night Live in 1975? We're looking for George Carlin. The first woman to be named heir to the English throne, who fought fiercely for her succession upon the death of her father, Henry I, but was never officially crowned? Matilda, Mary, or Anne? Ishan?
Mary.
No. Acton-Boxborough, you have a chance. Ryan?
A.
Matilda is correct. Before scoring 13 #1 hits on the Billboard Hot 100, what Canadian rapper starred in the teen drama series Degrassi: The Next Generation? Ryan?
Drake.
Drake is right. Democracies die more often at the ballot box than at gunpoint. What prominent historian who teaches at Boston College wrote this in her best-selling book, Democracy Awakening? Zaid?
Kennedy.
No. Hopkinton, you do have a chance here. Abhishek?
Doris Kearns Goodwin.
No. Heather Cox Richardson. Best known as the maker of Galaxy smartphones, what Korean conglomerate is also the main contractor that built Dubai's Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world? Abhishek?
Samsung.
Samsung is right. All That Jazz and Roxy are songs from what 2003 film that was the first musical since Oliver to win the Oscar for Best Picture? Ryan?
The Pianist.
No. Hopkinton, have a chance. Pranamya?
Broadway.
No, we're looking for Chicago. Named after the Greek goddess of the hunt, what NASA program aims to land the first woman and the first person of color on the moon? Eric?
Artemis.
Artemis is right. What was the first name of the French king who met with Joan of Arc in 1429 and agreed to let her lead the French in the battle at Orleans? Eric?
Henry.
No. Hopkinton, you have a chance here. Ishan?
Louis.
No. Charles is who we're looking for. That's the end of the round, and the score is Acton-Boxborough with 120 points, Hopkinton just behind with 90 points. Let's hear it for both teams. Last week, Buckingham Brown and Nichols beat Weston to move on to the semifinals. In today's match, Acton-Boxborough and Hopkinton are both looking to advance. The head-to-head round is next. But first, we're going to take a minute to get to know the players. Acton-Boxborough, we'll start with you. Zaid, you once went sledding down a glacier?
Yeah, yep, in northern India.
How does that compare to, say, like the hill at the local park?
It's definitely more fun. Might be a little more dangerous, definitely, so yeah.
Okay, did you have proper safety equipment?
Yeah, yep, helmet on and everything, yep.
Did you get to drink some cool glacial water?
Next time, hopefully next time.
Okay,
not
it's
this
great
time.
stuff. You got to try it. Nathaniel, We know that you like bird watching from your previous match, but I hear you also enjoy origami.
Yeah, I love it.
So is it that you go beyond the cranes for the bird watching?
Well beyond. Yeah, I can fold anything as long as I have the diagrams.
I always have trouble getting really tight creases. Do you have tricks for that? Are there tools that people use, or is this all just with your hands?
Your thumbnail.
Awesome.
Run along the.
Well, I find it very calming when I need a little break myself.
Yeah.
But I need to work past the crane, so I'll see if I can get to your stage. Ryan, you've built 2 of the 3 biggest Lego sets of all time.
Yep, yeah.
First of all, a little bit jealous. So what sets were those?
The Colosseum and then the Titanic.
Did you take a sledgehammer to the middle of the Titanic, throw it in the swimming pool when you were
No, it's a replica of the original, like with all the lifeboats that they had and everything inside.
Well, now we just need a Lego set for a giant iceberg, and you've got quite an adventure ahead of you. Eric, you also lead the Acton-Boxborough Olympiad team, is that right?
Yeah, I'm a part of the Science Olympiad team.
What is the Olympiad for people who aren't familiar with it?
So it's 23 events of different types of science, whether it's like bio or it's like engineering, and everyone picks like 3 or 4, and then we all compete.
So are you kind of a generalist, like a decathlete would be in the normal Olympics, or do you specialize in a particular subject?
It's more specialized, and I mostly do like physics-y things as well as engineering.
Awesome. Well, we'll see if that comes up today. Rounding out the Acton-Boxborough team, we have alternates Sid and Siddharth and coach Peter Montalbano. Okay, let's move over to Hopkinton. Ishan, you have an interesting way to manage stress. I hear it involves a stuffed orca.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely saves the trouble of buying a stress ball.
What's the origin of the orca? How did you find that to be your magic animal for that?
I mean, I was throwing a bit of a tantrum in Florida many years ago, and my dad just kind of bought this to calm me down, and it's been calming me down ever since.
Hey, we've all been there. Maybe it'll come in handy in college.
It probably will.
Abhishek, you play the violin.
Yep, I've been playing the violin for 8 years.
Are you more classical, or you take up a little like bluegrass fiddle?
Unfortunately, bluegrass fiddle is not very big in the orchestra, so it's mostly just classical.
Hey, you could be very progressive. You could push this forward. A little Mozart combined with, the Soggy Bottom Boys. Nice. Alex, you play the trumpet.
Yep, so just like Abhishek, I've been playing for 8 years.
So do you have a favorite style?
Yeah, I'd say I like playing jazz more than sort of classical concert band music.
I love it. Pranami, you play the flute.
Yep.
You guys have most of an orchestra here on your team. Do you have any inspirations for the flute? What led you to that instrument?
I kind of got forced into it by my counselor. There was no other options.
You showed up late and that was the one that was
Yep.
left? Okay. Also on the Hopkinton team is Coach Mason Challenor. Let's hear it for both teams. All right, it's time to go head-to-head. In this round, correct answers add 10 points to the team total, and wrong answers do result in a 10-point deduction. All right, the clock is set at 90 seconds. How about we get a little handshake before we start? Good luck. Here we go. What tragic hero in Greek myth unwittingly kills his father and marries his mother?
Oedipus?
Yes. A new Hulu series offers a satirical alternate history of what Russian empress known as the Great?
Catherine.
Yes. What is the chemical formula of water?
H2O.
Yes. Towards the end of the 1939 film The Wizard of Oz, which character famously misquotes the Pythagorean theorem?
Dorothy?
No, Scarecrow. Named after a saint, what Brazilian city is the most populous metro area south of the equator?
Rio de Janeiro?
No, Sao Paulo. What is the most abundant chemical element in the universe?
Hydrogen.
Yes. Which U.S. state is home to Badlands National Park?
South Dakota.
Yes. What is the minimum age requirement to serve in the U.S. House of Representatives?
25?
Yes. Hugh Jackman plays what circus impresario in the film The Greatest Showman? P.T. Barnum. In 1975, Papua New Guinea achieved independence from what neighboring country?
Indonesia.
No, Australia. How many meters are in a kilometer?
1,000.
Yes. Saber, foil, and epee.
Fencing.
Yes. Which Roman numeral represents the number 5?
V.
Yes. Nicole Diver in Tender is the Night is partly based on what wife of F. Scott Fitzgerald? Zelda. Mount Fuji is located on what?
Honshu.
Yes. Ode to a Nightingale is a notable work of what English romantic poet? We were looking for John Keats there. That is the end of the round. Let's take a look at the score. Acton-Boxborough with 170 points. Hopkinton has 110 with a lot of games to play. Let's give it up for both teams. All right, teams, it's time for the category round. Today's categories are Vampire Weekend, The Dating Game, Aha Moments, I Am Spartacus, Sedimentary, My Dear, and The Tide is High. All categories have 5 questions with increasing point value. Teams will choose 2 5-question categories each and have the option to toss 1 question per category to the other team that the other team must answer. Players, you are able to confer. All right, Acton-Boxborough, who's your spokesperson? Zaid? Hopkinton, how about you? Abhishek. All right. Hopkinton, you're trailing by a little bit, so you get the first category.
We'll take aha moments.
Aha moments. These are questions about 80s pop music for 10 points. In 2020, the iconic music video for Take On Me reached 1 billion views on YouTube. The song is the biggest hit of Aha, a synth pop band that formed in 1982 in what Norwegian city?
Oslo, sure.
Oslo.
Oslo is correct. For 15 points, released in 1985, Into the Groove remains the best-selling single of what queen of pop?
Shaka Khan.
You're sure about this?
No.
Okay, go for it.
Pass, all right.
Yeah, let's pass.
Pass.
We are looking for Madonna for 20 points. 6 years after his debut, Prince finally scored his first #1 hit with When Doves Cry. It was a last-minute addition to what landmark 1984 album?
We should not have picked this.
Should we toss this? We can toss the last 2. Pass.
We're looking for Purple Rain. For 25 points in aha moments. Austria's Falco is the only artist in history to reach #1 in the United States with a German language song with Rock Me Amadeus. The 1986 song is a tribute to what fellow Austrian?
Mozart?
Yeah.
Mozart?
Mozart is correct. For 30 points. In 1985, what musical duo formed by George Michael and Andrew Ridgeley made history as the first Western band to perform in China?
Savage Garden?
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I think so.
I've never heard of that.
Savage Garden?
No, we are looking for Wham. Acton-Boxborough, your category.
We'll take Sedimentary, My Dear.
Sedimentary, My Dear. These are questions about rocks and minerals for 10 points. The Mohs scale ranks the hardness of minerals from 1 to 10. Which mineral is listed as the hardest at number 10?
Diamond.
Diamond is correct. For 15 points, quartzite is an example of what type of rock that has been changed from its original form by immense heat and pressure?
Metamorphic.
That is correct. For 20 points, most natural gas produced in the United States is found trapped in formations of what sedimentary rock?
Shale.
Shale is correct. For 25 points in Sedimentary, My Dear, many fortune hunters have been tricked by the metallic shine and yellow color of what mineral known as fool's gold?
Pyrite.
Pyrite is correct. And for 30 points, Burma is known for rubies, Sri Lanka for sapphires. What South American country mines and produces the most emeralds for the global market?
Colombia.
Colombia is correct. All right, Hopkinton, next category to you.
I'm Spartacus.
I am Spartacus. These are questions about ancient Rome for 10 points. According to legend, Rome was founded by what twin brothers who were the sons of a human mother and Mars, the god of war?
Romulus and Remus.
That's correct. For 15 points, who was emperor at the start of the Pax Romana, a roughly 200-year period of relative peace and prosperity throughout the Roman Empire?
Augustus.
correct. For 20 points, part of the first triumvirate with Caesar and Crassus, what general defeated the gladiator Spartacus during the Third Servile War?
Pompey.
Pompey, that's correct. For 25 points in I Am Spartacus, translated as the Senate and People of Rome, what four-letter abbreviation found on ancient Roman coins is still used as an official emblem of the modern-day municipality of Rome?
SPQR.
That's correct. And for 30 points, Constantine was the first Roman emperor to convert to Christianity. But which emperor made it the official religion of the Roman Empire?
Theodosius.
Theodosius is correct. Acton-Boxborough, final category to you.
We'll take the dating game.
The dating game. These are questions about key dates in history. For 10 points. World War II ended when Japan formally surrendered aboard the USS Missouri on September 2nd of what year?
1945.
That's correct. For 15 points, President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation on January 1st of what year?
1863.
That is correct. For 20 points, in 2024, the Boston Celtics set a new record by winning their 18th NBA championship. They last won the championship in what year?
2008.
2008 is correct. For 25 points in the dating game, facing almost certain impeachment for his part in the Watergate scandal, President Richard Nixon resigned from office on August 9th of what year?
1974.
1974 is right. For 30 points, the Victorian era began when Queen Victoria ascended to the throne in 1837 and lasted until her death in what year?
1901.
That is correct. That's the end of the category round. With the score, Acton-Boxborough 370 points. Hopkinton has 215 points. Let's hear it for both teams. Okay, we're heading into the final round of play, the lightning round. Correct answers add 20 points to the team total, and there is a 20-point deduction for incorrect answers. Okay, the clock is set. Here we go. What element is used in balloons and airships? Nathaniel.
Helium.
Yes. What iconic American sitcom premiered in 1971 with an episode titled Meet the Bunkers? All in the Family. What Czech author wrote The Castle about Abhishek?
Kafka.
Yes. Who had the shortest reign of any British monarch, ruling for just 9 days in 1553? Ishan.
Mary?
No, Lady Jane Grey. Rapa Nui is the Polynesian name for Nathaniel.
Easter Islands.
Yes. Natural vanilla comes from the seed pod of what flowering tropical? Nathaniel.
The vanilla orchid.
Yes. Since 1933, the Rockettes have performed in the Christmas Spectacular at what famous? Nathaniel.
Radio City Motor Hall.
No, Radio City Music Hall. Who was the President of the United States at the start of the 20th century? Ryan.
McKinley.
Yes. What Midwestern state has more miles of shoreline than the entire U.S. Atlantic seaboard? Dade.
Michigan.
Yes. In 2023, Britney Spears released what best-selling memoir? Eric.
The Woman in Me.
Yes. Prince William went to what elite boarding school that's produced 20 British prime? Nathaniel.
Eton.
Eton, yes. The Treaty of Waitangi is the founding document of what? Nathaniel.
New Zealand.
That's correct. On a standard computer keyboard, what? We were looking for W there, and the winning team this week is Acton-Boxborough with a final score of 510 points. Hopkinton finishes with 215 points. Congratulations to both teams for a great game. Acton-Boxborough now moves on to the semifinals. Join us next week for our last quarterfinal match between Lexington and St. John's High School. You won't want to miss it. That's right here on the next High School Quiz Show.